We're Batman at 89.
Hello, and welcome to another week of Bat Minutes 89, the podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and cast some giant floodlights onto Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film, 1 minute at a time. I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan.
I am another one of the hosts. I am John Parker.
And we're joined this week all the way from a cabin in the woods, from Cabin Minute Cast, Molly Bailen.
Hey guys!
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm super happy to be here, like 5,000 miles away from you, but here in the present with the magic of technology.
The wonders of the internet.
And you literally are, because for the purposes, you guys are covering the cabin in the woods 1 minute at a time. So I'm assuming like you actually have to go out and do it in a cabin in the woods in order to get the entire feel of the full experience of doing it.
Yes, it gets a little bit rough because we have to use an outhouse because we want to be really real with it. You know, no plumbing and, chop our own wood, that kind of thing. Throw out a couple of rabid zombies. So, yeah, we're super much.
I just bought a house that has an outhouse.
Really?
But it's not used for that purpose anymore. It's been converted into like a kind of outdoor storage area, but that's what it was originally for. So that's pretty weird. Pretty weird.
An outdoor storage area? You mean a shed? Like what?
Yeah, but it's not wooden. It's made of brick. So it's I don't really know, a brick shed.
Is it a really? It's a literal brick house.
Yeah,
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it was at least.
It's like the smallest storage ever.
Anywho, today we're here. Once we got over the toilet talk, we got that out of the way. So we're
lower the tone early.
Yes, exactly. Just do that first thing on a Monday morning, and then you're set for the rest of the week. Today we're talking about minute 106 of Batman. Minute 106 begins with the aftermath of the bell falling down, and ends 1 minute later with the Joker stating the truth, apparently. So let's dig into that.
You could also say it ends with a bat in the belfry.
Yeah. Although annoyingly, it's cut midline. So
yeah. God damn it.
It's like so many of my favorite moments of this movie where it's just like, this bit's great, but we can't talk about the whole thing because the minute splits. So
we'll get there.
But yeah, we do have here the bell is now blocking the doorway. And then we got a quick shot of Batman running up the stairs, still going up these stairs after the Joker. And he finds...
It's a lot of stairs.
Yeah, Vicky's second shoe. So I guess it's kind of I guess we can interpret this as like the Joker is beginning to kind of taunt him, really. Because this is, he dropped that one shoe for whatever reason. And then this one seems to be more like it's a trail of breadcrumbs of like, come and get it. That's sort of...
That's exactly what I was going to say. Trail of breadcrumbs. It's leading him to the confrontation, isn't it? The final showdown.
Yeah. And of course, then we get because Batman's obviously a guy who can get things done, and we cut here.
It's a good description.
Yeah. But then we cut back down to see as the bell is blocking the door. Now I think like way back when we were covering the Axis Chemical Minutes, we might have said that that was Commissioner Gordon's time to shine. That scene. But I completely forgot about this. Like, this is the greatest thing that he does in these four movies.
Would you say this is him shining, though? Because he goes over to this bell.
Yeah.
And, I mean, why does he think he can move the bell out of the way? Look at the size of that thing. What the hell is wrong with him?
I would love it, though, if it literally did have, like, you could just think, oh, it's impossible, and all of a sudden... It just, he had to kind of judge me by my size, do you? And then you just hear like the...
He just lifts the
bell. He's just lifting the bell as if it's nothing.
Oh, God. Okay, he's not shining here, but it is also one of his best parts of the film.
Yeah.
Don't because it's hilarious. I'm laughing.
He never reaches this height again, I don't think.
In fact, Molly, what's your feeling on Gordon? I don't know how recently you've seen all of these movies, but In this series, he's a joke. He might as well not be in them.
I know, it's really sad. It's a waste of a character. And I love the man's voice. I really do. But I mean, in this particular moment is just, it bothered me even when I was a kid. So that's saying something. That, the guy's like 55 years old and is like, I'm going to just give this a good old shove. Just to make sure it's really wedged in there. And it's like you've got 2 other cops next to you who are literally, eating Danish, smoking a cigarette, waiting for the boss to like push on this thing to really confirm, yeah, you're not going to get up there. It's really wedged in there good.
Well, they know the truth. That's why they're just there eating the Danish and stuff. They're like, there's no point even attempting this. We're just going to hang back, laugh at the boss, and just chill out. He might slip a disc or something. It'll be fine. He'll be off work for 6 weeks.
This really does look like a Wiggum, Lou and Eddie situation going on here. It's just like this portly Commissioner Gordon and then these 2 backup cops who are sort of just standing back, just letting him do what he wants. We think he would have been more like, you guys get over here and help me with this. And then I think, all right.
There's no point even trying it, right? In my notes, I originally put, like, why is he trying it? It weighs a ton. As like slang, it weighs a lot. So then I thought, well, what does it weigh? So I decided to have a look at Liverpool Cathedral here, at the bells in Liverpool Cathedral. So I investigated the bells. And there's a lot of bells in Liverpool Cathedral, but the main ones will each weigh 1.4 tons. But then there's a big bell in the middle, it looks a bit like this bell. And alone, this bell weighs 15 tons. Ooh. And it's so big they can't ring it. They have to hit it with a hammer. So, I mean, this one, it's not quite as big as the Liverpool one, but it looks more than 1.4 tons. It's in the middle ground, maybe. So Gordon, just give up, man. Stop.
It might have been just to look, like it's like, oh, these guys really look up to me, though. Like, it's going to break their hearts if they think I can't move a bell.
I'm their hero. They tell the kids stories about me every night.
But he follows us up then with, I think, again, way back when I thought his hold it right there was his best line. But no, this is his best line now. Tries to move the bell, sees it's not going to happen, and then just throws his hands in the air and goes, let's go. And just walks away.
And his new plan seems to be, let's shine some searchlights on the tower there.
Yeah.
Like, what's that going to do? I don't understand the plan. What's the plan?
I was kind of hoping, though, this would be a good YouTube edit if you did, like, him going, let's go. And then it was literally, like, a cut back to Batman going up the stairs. And it cuts to, like, him and the other policeman just getting in the car and driving away. And then literally going to, like, a donut shop and just sitting and talking about it. And then him going home, seeing the wife and stuff,
Now that I want to see. That would be fantastic. But deleted scenes, please.
Yeah.
And they might as well, because, I mean, where's the SWAT? I mean, I have to be fair. When I lived in London, there was like the smallest of incident and the police were out in force and riot gear.
Yeah. That's a London thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, in comparison to here in the US, I mean, maybe there'd be a SWAT situation. So you might have some, more elite police coming out to, I mean, you've got this guy who's trashing a monument. You've got another guy who's literally just crashed an illegal plane in front of a cathedral. And there's 3 cops. There's the guy in charge who hasn't been in any uniform for probably 25 years. And then 2 beat cops. And the only thing they bring out with them are 2 really hefty lights. This is the crappiest police force ever.
Considering as well, this is a town known for its crime. Like, you'd think they'd be, bringing police in from our town. Like, we need to really, beef up the force.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a city, though, where, like, a guy who was poisoning the population went on TV and said, like, tonight at midnight, I'm going to come out and dump 20 million on the streets. And there was no police. No one showed up to stop him. No one was around. It was just as if, like, you think they'd have patrol cars on every street corner just to see where is he going to come from. And they just didn't do anything. They waited until the bat plane had crashed. And then 10 minutes later, they showed up. They were like, oh, we better go take care of this. And then they brought the elite team. of Gordon and these two assholes. It's like, as big ideas like, well, maybe I can move a 1-ton bell. It's just crazy.
Or a 15-ton bell. We're not sure.
Yeah. Between a 1 and 15-ton bell.
Somewhere in that sweet spot.
The pity Pat Hingle wasn't still alive. We could ring him up and be like, how much does that bell weigh, Pat?
It looks like a hefty prop. That doesn't look like it's made out of polystyrene or something.
He'd probably be like, I totally could move that bell, but I was acting. I was just pretending like I couldn't. Just like,
yeah, acting.
Maybe it was just like he insisted it had to be in the film as well. There's nothing in the script about Gordon trying to move the bell, but he's like, Tim, get a hold of this, and it goes up, and he's just like, and everyone's just standing around watching him. And then they're just like, we're keeping this in the movie, man. Sorry.
No. That's not an unreasonable prospect, considering that they did not have this scripted out before they did it.
Oh, yeah. This is all really written kind of on the fly. This whole final act, pretty much. But anyway, then we do get, again, the breadcrumb situation of a Batman and sees Vicky's coat, I guess. Because very light coat. It's really looking... That's a thin coat.
It is. It's terrible. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah. It's like borderline kind of satin night dress, but it's also a coat apparently. But no. But I do like I was thinking as well, because I got thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be great if like cut to Gordon going, let's go, and then you saw what he did with the rest of his night, just going home and stuff. And I also kind of got the idea like it would have been great if that had been intercut with Batman just finding more and more of Vicky's stuff. So he goes up, it's like, oh, the coat. And then the next one's like, oh my God, it's her ring. And the next one is just like, oh my God, it's her purse. And then the next floor is just like, oh, it's her credit cards. And that's like,
I'm glad you went that direction, because I thought you were going to take it slightly blue. I thought everything was just going to start coming off. So thank you for saving.
I mean,
saving
it'd be like literally getting to like, oh my God, it's like the lease to her apartment and stuff. It's her childhood photos. It's like, how many things does she have on her? Although I can think of it like, because, this is obviously, like, they had the whole business of, oh, this is darker, but it's not that dark. Like, they had to cut out the whole bit of the Smilex advert with that alluded to the Joker killing a baby. So they're like, no, we're not going that far. But I can imagine in, like, your modern comic version of the Joker, where, you have the Joker now who literally cut off his own face and then wore it as a mask, like that kind of level of intensity. I can imagine him doing a scene like this where it would be like, oh, he finds a shoe, and then it's a coat, and then he's like, Batman starts finding like fingers and an ear and stuff. Like, it just seems like that would be he'd be like, oh, this is really funny, right? That it's like little trail of breadcrumbs, and then it just gets gorier and gorier as it goes along. That
would
sort
be
of thing.
Awesome. I would love that. I mean, that'd be horrible for the character. But,
Totally.
I don't want her to get harmed. Like, she's great. Throughout this process, we've come to love her, haven't we? And but that would be such a good story. That'd be so dark.
But having like that intercut with Gordon going to the hot dog stand. They got a hot dog from Mayor Borg on his way home and stuff. Because obviously the two of them live next door to each other, and he's like,
oh, of course, they have to, yeah.
He's like, if you're going down to that parade, just check out what the hot dogs are like, okay? And bring me back a balloon if you could as well.
So she's kind of lost a lot of shoes, it seems like, in this movie. Like, it seems like there's been a lot of shoe chucking. There was shoe chucking on the stairs when they go up to make the whatever. I don't know what your guys' opinion on that, about what the hanky-panky situation was.
They did clear it up later on. So I was wrong, and they did sleep together.
Yeah.
But she does lose a lot of shoes. I'm trying to think. I'm racking my brain here. There's at least one more time, because
I think during the museum escape, I think there's shoes go missing there as well, don't they?
Doesn't she lose her shoes to get in or out of the Batmobile as well at one point?
Might have been the same scene. I'm not too sure. But we're gonna have to start the film all over again now to do this.
What we'll do is we'll do a bonus episode when we're finished, detailing all the shoe losses, and we'll put that up on the feed for you all.
We started off in a bit of a shoe, because I remember you went in deep with Nick's shoes. Remember when Batman was dangling them over the thing? Because we had the whole thing about like, well, Batman's boots were made by and stuff like that. And then you were like, oh, the brothel creepers this guy's wearing. And that sort of set the precedent for the show here of like, oh, we're talking about the shoes. Okay, well,
we've got a thing for shoes. Yeah, I didn't research these shoes. I feel terrible now. I've let you all down.
So I know the Joker's got some nice shoes in this. He's got a nice pair of spats going on, like purple spats. But I think we get seeing them later, like maybe in the next week or so. For one point or another, his feet are up in the air, so we'll get seeing them then. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Well, I really like now they shine these searchlights up at the tower. I really like the animation on these lights because they haven't just used a light, have they? That's a very Tim Burton-esque sort of animated light.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know why on earth you would do it, but I love it at the same time. Like, Tim, for whatever reason you did it, you never explain anything.
I imagine it's a matter of, well, this has been a model, and then it's just like, well, we're gonna. It'd be just like,
just get a little light.
Yeah, maybe little lights just don't look good. They're just like, yeah, this looks a bit crummy. I made it look more like a model as well, because it's just like you're just shining a light on a model. So yeah,
you could fake this 100 other ways. I think to me, it's a stylistic choice. I think it's a very Tim Burton-y thing to do, and we've already seen the same kind of animation earlier with Batman on the rooftop.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when he was animated for some reason? For no reason, they animated Batman. Yeah, it looks the same to me.
I think we said then it's because they wanted to have that silhouette of him like that, and then if it was just a guy in the outfit, you wouldn't get the shadow quite so distinctly. So they're like, I think we said like, oh, they must have just went, we'll just animate it because you draw whatever you want in there then.
Yeah, probably did.
And it does have a really supernatural kind of look to it because it's kind of fast. I mean, it's evident that it's not a dude, but it does have this really creepy look to it, even though it's super artificial looking. So you do have that, because the guys are up there, they're like, it's not real, it's crap, And you do have that setting of it being not a guy, which we know it's a guy, but yeah.
Yeah, but it gives you that feel, though. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it gives you that feel like, like what am I looking at? Even though you know, because it's called Batman. But you are like, whoa, who is this? What is this? So I like that because that's what the guys are saying about him, basically, in the story. They think he's a monster.
It's kind of like, are we back doing minute 5 again?
Like, minute 5.
We did it over and over again.
No, not now. We've only just started the show. What are you talking about? You must have been dreaming the other episodes. They haven't happened yet.
Also, before we cut into the action in the bell tower proper, I think because it's one of the last times we got a real good shot of Gordon again. So I've gone back into the well that I've been casually drawing from of the alleged. Now again, a lot of these these are up on IMDb, and I don't know where their sources are coming from. But the alleged other casting considerations for Jim Gordon in this movie. There's a ton of them. There's it seems as if they went through everybody in Hollywood before they landed on Pat Hingle.
That makes me doubt it somewhat.
Yeah, but we have James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Would have been cool.
Okay, yeah.
I could totally imagine that. I'll buy that. And then right next to him, Alec Guinness, which is, I mean, it's not taken away from Alec Guinness. He doesn't exude Commissioner Gordon to me.
No. Did a Star Wars fan just write this as well, by the way?
Well, it's like that time we're talking about the Knox casting, and it was just like other people consider were like John Cleese, Michael Palin, Eric Idle. It's just like, what the hell? And it's just like, yeah. And then it was just like Steve Martin, and then Terry Gilliam. It's just like, what the hell? You took a break from, and then went back to the Pythons. What the hell? But also Michael Caine, which is, weird considering he went on to be Alfred. I would love to see, him doing just him, having to do the hold it right there. God damn it, we had him, and stuff like that. And one I personally would have loved as a major Frasier fan, John Mahoney, of course, played Marty Crane.
Ah, okay, yeah. I have no problem with any of these. These are all fine.
Oh, see, I've got two left here because there's a whole bunch more, but I'll...
you've saved the best to the last then.
Well, one of them is a genuine, that's a great shout, and the other one's just a, what? Martin Sheen, which totally, I can totally see that. And then Paul Hogan. Crocodile Dundee was up for Commissioner Gordon.
No. Oh my God, no, that's terrible. But then again, right, I know I'm saying the other ones are all great, but they're not great for this Gordon. Because this Gordon's a clown, and all of them are strong actors that you want to see in like a tough role.
You can kind of imagine Martin Sheen getting the script and be like, "You want me to play Commissioner Gordon? Oh my god, yeah!" And then seeing the part, and it's just like you're literally like, it's like, oh, your pages are marked in red or whatever, and it's like there's like 5 red pages in this like 120-page script. There's like 5 red pages, and I'm like, yeah, that's the part. And then he would have been just like, no. But Paul Hogan has just been crazy. Because then you just want to see, like, well, like, I've seen this man take on crocodiles. Why isn't he going out and stopping the Batman himself? But Paul Hogan could probably lift the bell. Or you do something, some strange outback sorcery that's perpetuated in Crocodile Dundee.
Well, now I really want to see... I just keep giving people ideas for comics on this show, don't I? I really want to see someone do Batman meets Crocodile Dundee, the comic book.
That would legitimately be awesome. I would totally.
It would work as well. I mean, they bring him in to try and track and catch the big bat that's terrorizing Gotham, but then he discovers the truth. He ain't no bat.
Yeah, maybe
dun, dun, dun.
But you call that a batarang? This is a batarang. Like, what the hell are you
oh
doing?
My god, yeah, the batarang and boomerang connection.
That's one of these things has to happen now. Someone out there is going to have to make this thing.
Batman seems... I know you said, he's been climbing these stairs for quite a while. He has, but he's now at the top. Yeah. And to get to the top, that was fast to me because, we both know someone who lives at the top of a big block of flats or apartments, and it feels like you're climbing up them for about 6 weeks just to knock on their door. And
it is exhausting. It's one of those, you almost dread them inviting you around. It's like, oh god.
And then you don't want to go down at the end of the night. You're like, it's like 3 a.m. Like, ah.
You do have to kind of say, like, oh, you call a cab. It's just like, oh, we're outside. It's like, yeah, we'll be like 20 minutes getting down there because of so many fucking stairs.
Yeah, so I was impressed with Batman's speed. I mean, he is super fit. Let's be fair. He works out.
Well, we should have been keeping track of this, actually, because the Joker said 10 minutes to get this helicopter. And so we should have been keeping... We're literally watching the film minute by minute. We can track to see how long it actually takes the helicopter to show up. But then you would assume that they're on these stairs for more than like 2... Well, I guess it's 3 minutes because they had the whole friggin' last week was 3 minutes of walking upstairs. So, yeah, it's a thing we should be keeping an eye on, actually. So.
We failed again. We're terrible hosts.
We can do it now. It's not too late. It's never too late, John. Have you? It's just after Christmas. Have you not seen like 50 versions of A Christmas Carol?
True.
It's never too late. Yeah.
No, I was racking my brain then, genuinely thinking, I wonder how many versions I did watch this past Christmas. At least 3 versions of A Christmas Carol, possibly 4. But Batman. He emerges through the hatch there, and we get a really, really sort of super gothic Tim Burton shot of him walking around the church sort of rooftop here. Yeah. I love this, like him skulking through the shadows.
Well, because kind of cut between this and the next minute, I do love this atmospheric build-up to what's about to happen. Because it does have, you had all your Elfman score, and now it's kind of like silenced out a bit. And it is it's the calm before the storm, as it were. And we got a little bit of the Joker's dialogue here. It's like, it can truly be said that I have a bat. And then minute cuts. So
he has a bat. What does he have?
Although it's one of those weird things that we have the video files with subtitles. It's like, well, we can read what he's saying in
Shut
total.
Up. Nobody knows that now. I think he has a hangnail, and that's what he's alluding to. Well, in the '86 draft, it's very different here. I'm not going to go in depth because you'll all be bored, but basically it's Dick Grayson in pursuit here because Batman's too injured from the crash. He's very badly injured. Yeah, so pre-Robin, as I'll call him, he's in pursuit. Batman does eventually bring himself back to the fight, and I really love one particular bit from the draft where it says, I mean this genuinely, it's not comedic, it's great. It says, Batman, broken, beaten, his right leg useless. He hauls himself up the steps, one at a time. He should be dead. Dried blood cakes his face, his chest. Dizzy, exhausted, his body strained to the limit. He slumps against a wall to steady himself, then reaches into his utility belt for a painkiller painkiller. Jeez, that's the way to get into trouble, like, health wise. A lot of people have gone from too many painkillers, but he says it forces the capsule back onto his dry, swollen tongue. Quaking all over, he tries to draw himself erect and topples over, landing with his full weight on the rotten wood of the bell tower stairs. Oh, poor Batman. He's trying to even drug himself to get back in and finish the job. He doesn't care about his health. He might die. He's not bothered as long as he does his mission.
Yeah. But because I know that draft goes down a very different route once it gets to the top of the bell tower as well. But then it's one of those ones, like, when do you deal with those scenes? Because, like, they cut out a good, like, we're on the top of this bell tower for about, like, 20 minutes now. And then it's like that draft's very much like, no, he gets to the top, and then things are almost instantaneously kind of concluded very, very quickly. Yeah. But so we have to kind of make it like, when do you talk about that? Like, when's the right moment to go, oh, this is what happens at this point in the actual script? Or John would be like, I've got lined up for the next minute. But
no, it's tough. I like that bit, but there's nothing really to relate anything else happening to what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Although I do wish we saw this Batman, like, really battered, because he seems pretty fine from the crash, to be honest.
Well, he did knock over those pews.
That's hardly, like, quaking all over, taking painkillers.
He has. It's a good recovery time from, like, I just crashed a plane. Like, I literally I was in a plane that, didn't just, like, have a mild to no crash. It had a flaming. I literally walked out of a flaming wreck, and I fell over some pews. But now I'm okay. Like, it's quick recovery time for this guy.
Yeah, and then, I mean, how many flights did he just walk up and he's just like, boop, boop, we're good to go. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, just casual.
I mean, as we know from the later Chris Nolan movies, and, like, Batman's a guy gonna have it's not a broken back, it's like a snapped vertebrae or something like that. All you need, punch him in the back, hang him on a rope for, like, a couple of weeks, he's fine. Like, that's all you need to do. That's one of, like, the whole, it's not our mandate to talk about The Dark Knight Rises, but, like, that whole sequence in the pit is just weird to me, because it's like, this is the worst place on earth. It's like, it's just a pit. This is like, everyone was full of, like, people, like, attacking each other day after day, and, like, you can see the level of disease, and, like, it's just like, oh, it's full of people who are constantly trying to kill you. And they'll wake up and someone will be, like, peeing in your mouth or something like that.
Oh, jeez. What the
I can
hell?
imagine that, but, like, oh, this is pretty awful. But it's just like, yeah, it's kind of a pit. And then when he's climbing out of there, everyone's on his side. Everyone's cheering him on. It's like, it seems like kind of a pretty nice place. Tom Conti's in here. Like, Tom Conti's great. Why wouldn't you? It's kind of like a vacation for him more than anything. It's just like, yeah, gotta hang out and, got to dangle on a rope for a little bit. And then I had loads of time to work out, and it was great.
Dangle on a rope for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he does. That's what happens in that movie.
Yeah, and they're relatively nice people, and it's got a really great chiropractor down there for some reason. And I like that you brought that up, because that particular movie, I have problems, and I know it's not our mandate, but that particular movie and that set of scenes from a writing standpoint was always very confusing to me, of why are we down here? And I don't know how you guys feel about this, because it's come up, and I don't know if you guys are James Bond fans, but they dealt with this somewhat recently of having a really broken superhero who's trying to kind of patch himself together and get the job done. And not from just getting beaten down during the course of a movie. He starts out with his ass beat. Yeah. And he's got to do everything. So I'm wondering how you guys kind of felt about that. Do you?
Yeah, I find that it's interesting to me. I just think there wasn't enough in that series of Batman being Batman. Like, yeah, he becomes Batman, and then he's very quickly having to kind of disgrace his own name and go on, and stop being Batman. Yeah. And then he comes back, trains himself up for that one thing, and then he's gone again. It's like, oh,
yeah.
So
yeah.
Is Batman even a legend in this town? I don't really.
Well, they make that big statue of him at the end, which I didn't like, but. Yeah, like, I think I've said it, like, probably on this show. I've said it somewhere before anyway. But yeah, my whole beef with that is that, like, I don't mind the third one as a film, as a conclusion to this chosen. If you go, like, I'm choosing to end the story, it's like, fine. But it's just the fact that the first two do such a great job of being like, this is the beginning of Batman, the legend that is, all that stuff, all the crazy there's going to be a Killer Crocs coming down the line and friggin' Mr. Freeze and all this stuff. All that Batman stuff in the comics. It's coming. This is the beginning of it. And even at the end of The Dark Knight, like the Joker's saying to him, like, you and I are destined to do this forever. And you're like, yes, that's it. He never kills him. The two of them are at each other's throats for like 50 odd years after this or whatever. And then it's more the fact that like had all that set up, and then it was very much like, now he's done. And it's pretty much at the end of The Dark Knight. It's like, no, I took a break for 8 years. And yeah, I came back and I had a fight with this one guy. Yeah, I'm done. It's like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like in our, I'm not comparing series. Obviously, they're very different. But in our series, he's Batman like all the time, like the entire time, pretty much.
Yeah, I think we covered it over the, his dealing with the relationship with Vicky was very much like she was his second priority. Like he was like, I'm doing this, and I'd like to be with you, but I've got to do this. Like and not so much like I'm choosing. It's more like I have to do it. Like it's just there's no. I'm not I'm not going to choose you over being Batman, basically. Whereas the Dark Knight version of him seems to be like the first one he's all like, I'm going to be Batman. I'm going to become this legend, and then from the Dark Knight onwards, he is just constantly trying not to be Batman. Like he's trying to. Oh, this Harvey Dent guy's going to take over, and then they won't need Batman, and I'm going to hook up with Maggie Gyllenhaal, and everything's all around him, but like, I don't want to be Batman anymore. And then the third one's just like, I'm just mulling about for 8 years not being Batman. And then he gets like a 10 minutes of been like, I'm going to do it again. And then, Michael Caine been like, no, you can't be Batman, Master Wayne. And then eventually, all sort of, he does, he gets his ass handed to him. Which I do like that, what your original question was, Molly, like the whole thing of like the beaten, broken hero and whatnot. I do really like that. I think that's I would have preferred it if they had like, again, The Dark Knight Rises. I guess they're trying to make it more realistic in the fact that it's like, well, you can't have a literal broken back because no way you'd recover from that to the level that he does. So they have to kind of, no, it's like a cracked thing and it's it's a temper. It's an easy fix basically.
Well, I wouldn't say easy.
Well, yeah. Well, just punch in the back and hang him from a rope for a bit. Like that's all he had to do.
That's what all doctors recommend, isn't it?
But I would have preferred like if he was more beaten, if he had to go more injuries to overcome and stuff. And I would have preferred if that pit they threw him in was more of an ordeal. Like he actually had to go through literal hell to get out of there. But no, it's just like just put him in the hole in the ground for a while, and everyone was pretty nice. And then he jumped out, and it was fine.
So would you prefer if it was like a reverse Dante's Inferno? He has to rise from the pit upwards, going through the levels of hell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well,
actually, no, that isn't a reverse.
That is literally the actual thing.
That is literally what it is, because then the next one is he goes to bloody heaven, doesn't he? In the second one, or is that the third one? No. Does he go to?
Third one.
There's three books. I don't remember.
You have to ask Dante's Minute.
Dante's Minute.
Yeah. Because he goes in the Inferno, and he goes to Paradise, and then he goes to Dante's Peak, and then he's played by Pierce Brosnan in that for a bit. And there's a really weird bit where this old woman jumps out into the lake, and it's full of acid or something, and she has, it's a pretty stupid movie.
Dante's Peak, the finale of the Dante trilogy.
I would love someone to do a Dante's Peak minute and then someone to start up a Volcano minute and then just have them battling it out to see who's going to be the more popular podcast.
Do it. Oh, God.
Anyway.
With Batman, I had one thing I just wanted to ask. One short thing before we do depart. Right, back at the beginning, you see the shoe. And I was thinking to myself just now, when I'm walking down the street, sometimes I'll see a discarded shoe, like a child's shoe or something. And to me, that's one of the saddest things in the world. Like, I was wondering if other people get upset about this, because I'll just see a shoe and I'm like, oh, it's not even a pair of shoes. It's lonely. It's one missing shoe. That's upsetting to me. That's horrible. It's not complete.
You just imagine it's just an angry parent back home as well going, oh no, I have to buy another pair of shoes as well. It's like...
Yeah. You can't send off for one, I don't think, to the company.
No, I agree. I think it's a little sad. To come across a piece of clothing like a shoe where it has a pair and is pretty integral to being able to get from point A to point B, and especially like a little kid's shoe. There's something, the mind tends to make a story up about something bad happening. of like what situation were you in? And especially, you know, being in this climate, it's not like we're in Florida where it's like hot. You're like, they said screw it and they kicked off a shoe, but it's wet and nasty. And so what happened that you lost a shoe in the course of your doings?
Oh God, yeah. It's a bit like England then, I suppose, except the wet and nasty side of the weather anyway. So
I thought because you were trying to say like, oh, you know, a lone shoe was very sad. And it's like, no, this is part of the Joker's plan, is to fill Batman with a sense of melancholy before he gets up there.
I think he's been beaten to that by his younger, former self.
Oh yeah, I was trying to work out
Batman
what
with
the hell you're
melancholy.
talking about there. Like, oh, I get you now. I don't know if you call it like, oh, yeah, I drove him to a sense of melancholy, but I killed his parents, which is it's like I maybe went a bit overboard, but well, apparently just leaving a lone shoe would have done the same job. Anywho, I'm pretty much noted out for this minute. That you have anything you want to bring up in particular about this particular minute?
Nope.
No, I'm done. Yeah, before we do go, though, Molly, would you like to tell our good listeners where they can listen to your show and find you online?
Yes, we are taking apart Cabin in the Woods 1 minute at a time at cabinminutecast.com, and you can find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at Cabin Minute Cast.
Hey, cool. Do check it out because it's all wonderful, fantastic show. And check us out. We are available everywhere. You probably know by now because I imagine you've listened to 106 minutes of the show. I would hope so. Anyway, I hope you're not starting here. So yes, we are on Facebook at the Batminute89 Listener Society, and we are on Twitter at Batminute89, and we're on Instagram as well. Look us up there, and review us on iTunes. We have a new review, Niall. It is from David Dunn21. So thank you to you, David Dunn21.
David Dunn, Bruce Willis's character in Unbreakable.
Of course.
Oh my God. I was wondering what he was up to.
We are now getting reviewed by fictional characters.
I guess
So
maybe because
that's
he was trying to become a superhero, wasn't he? So it's like, I guess he would be like, I better listen to this Batman podcast so I can do research on how it's supposed to be done.
Well, a certain movie lately may tip you off to the fact that he did manage to become a superhero. But we won't go there, though, for spoilers.
Could be as well. It could be a genuine spoiler for Molly if she's not seen said film. So,
well, that's why I'm not saying the name of the film. But yes, join us again on Wednesday because we will be back with more Batman and minute 107.
Next time, dancing a waltz and fighting some dolts. While a pirating Perot begins to trip the light fantastic, things with the bat start to get drastic. But which goon with a tune is about to go boom? Find out Wednesday. Same Bat Pod,
different Bat Minute.